Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Monday SITREP to all you diplomats of defense and ambassadors of arms. My name is CB Harris. On today's show, we're going to talk about smart gun technology and the fact that it's being kind of pushed by the Obama administration. We're also going to discuss self-defense and is it justified. On the Life or Death Files, an 80-year-old woman from Seattle protects and saves the life of her husband. And on What's New, it's more of a category of new items that are out. Not one particular item. I'm not sure what I think about it, and I want to know what your thoughts are on the subject. So sit back, and that is going to be the poll of the day, so be sure to look for that later on in the show. So, smart gun technology. The president recently basically directed the Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, and Department of Justice to do some research, or to at least sponsor the research for smart gun technology and pushing that technology forward. And I want to tell you my thoughts on the subject. First of all, I don't necessarily like the fact that it seems like it's gearing towards being forced upon us. I don't think that it's necessarily a viable option. There are a lot of things that are wrong with the technology, or could go wrong with the technology, and I really think that it's a pipe dream to believe that it's going to save lives, because I just don't see it happening. I wonder if they will even do any studies and research on smart guns that fail and those lives that are lost. You know, I kind of get the feeling that that's going to be one of those statistics that'll be kind of swept under the rug and won't even be talked about. So I don't like the fact that it's being forced on us. I don't think that that fits with the Second Amendment, and I think it is an infringement, forcing somebody towards a particular type of weapon. So I don't really like that. I don't like the fact that taxpayer money, I don't know how many millions, hundreds of millions of dollars is going to go to this, but it kind of bothers me. If the market wants it, let the manufacturers do the R&D for it, and then they can market it, and you know, that's how capitalism works. They take that risk, and if it pays off for them, great. If not, then they'll find something else. But I think forcing the issue is a bad idea. So next, let's talk about self-defense. Justin Kermy, actually, he wrote an article for Huffington Post. Yes, I know it's the Huffington Post, and that's not where I should get my news. I agree completely. But he wrote an article, and I find this is quite interesting. By interesting, I mean stupid as possibly could be. But he argues that self-defense isn't justified. You shouldn't be able to shoot somebody because that is counter to justice. Because if you shoot somebody who is entering your home illegally, they didn't get a fair trial before you dispense justice. And I think he's confusing some things here. I think he's confusing justice with the judicial system, because they are two separate things. The judicial system tries to dispense justice, but it's after the fact. Person A did something wrong. The justice system says, did he do it wrong? And if he did something wrong, what kind of punishment should we give him to try to get justice? Justice would be, he didn't do anything wrong at all. Justice would be, nobody breaks into my home. That's justice. I think he's confusing the definition of justice with our judicial system, and that's just not the way it is. So if somebody breaks into my home, wishing ill intent on me and my family, if they do that, if they kill me, kill my family, where is the justice there, Justin? I'm confused as to where that justice comes into play. So if I defend myself and my family, then I'm ruining justice because he didn't have the right to a fair trial. What about the rights of me, my wife, my kids? What about their rights to live? What about the justice in that? I think he's kind of forgetting about that. And I tell you what, it just, I can't believe that somebody even possibly thinks this way. Crazy thoughts. Anyway, I guess what do you expect on the Huffington Post? Anyway, so next on the Life or Death Files, an 80-year-old woman from Seattle saves the life of her husband. So, as I said, this story is coming out of Seattle, Washington, and this is an 80-year-old woman, and a man came into their home. A 25-year-old man, it doesn't identify him, but he came into their home trying to rob the place. He had a knife. He actually stabbed her 75-year-old husband several times. He is okay. He was rushed, life-flighted out to a hospital to get medical attention, but he is going to be okay. I'm sure that he's never going to be completely normal, but the 80-year-old woman, she grabbed the firearm, shot, and killed the perpetrator. So, judging with our last story, obviously justice was not dispensed, but sorry, I hate to get back on that soapbox again, so we're just going to stay away from that. But he was pronounced dead at the scene, and I feel that justice was definitely served. She did absolutely the right thing. She saved the life of her husband, if you ask me. Probably saved her own life as well, and all because somebody decided that they needed to come into their home. So, definitely did the right thing. So next on What's New, we're going to talk about sub-caliber rifles. And it just seems like there's so many of them this year.
So, what's new?
So as I said, we're going to talk about sub-caliber, in other words, pistol caliber ammunition in a rifle. Now, there's a lot of companies, it looks like, to me, are coming out with a model this year. And whether it's a short-barreled rifle, a carbine length, or there's also quite a few that they're calling them a personal defense weapon. Usually it is a sub-caliber and a short-barreled rifle as well. So Chris, which if you guys know the company Chris, you know that the Vector, this is their bread and butter. They have a lot of rifles that are this way. Take Glock magazines, 9mm 45s, 40s. So this is it's not anything that's a surprise from them, but they have a Generation 2 on their Vector. It's coming out, a couple of different models of that actually. So no big surprise from them, but also we have companies like SIG who has their MPX line. They also have a pistol that looks a lot like an AR-15-ish that's 9mm. I know that doesn't really fit into the short-barreled rifle because it is a pistol with a pistol caliber, but it definitely looks like it started out life as a rifle. And the Angstad Arms has a carbine and personal defense weapon, and Troy Defense has their M5 in 9mm. So it just seems like there's a lot of companies who are kind of going this route. I don't know if this is the next big thing or what. I have my reservations about it. I think that it can have some benefits, sure. I think that, okay, you've got a rifle with a pistol caliber, so it's definitely controllable. You might gain some feet per second in your velocity. Your accuracy should improve greatly especially at that intermediate distance. I don't know what I think. I think that it could have a place as far as home defense, but as far as defense in a military or police type situation, maybe close quarters combat type, sure. And that is traditionally where a sub-caliber rifle is used, such as an MP5, something like that. It is very useful in that situation. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to put a poll right up here. I want to know your thoughts on it. Is sub-caliber rifles or short-barreled rifles, is it a viable option for civilian self-defense? Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear from you. So that is the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys got something out of it. If you did, I always appreciate it when you like and share the videos. If you're not a subscriber and you want to become one, find that subscribe button down below, give it a big old click, and then be sure to come back next Monday for another Monday SITREP. So remember, your mind, your brain is the most important tool that you have, and it's always important to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe.